Ahoy, salty dogs! Lenscap here. Oh, I left the drones out. Lenscap here, and today we're playing StarMade. This is episode number 33. In today's episode, we've got a couple of things that we want to do, but I wanted to start by showing you my skin! I got a skin finally. Let's put on our helmet here. We can take it off. We're inside the ship, no worries. So here's my skin. I am a Mandalorian, apparently. I've got some Mandalorian armor that I found. This actually came in an armor pack by a guy from from StarMade Dock, you know, where you can post your ships and stuff. His name is Boba Fett. This is the sand variant of the armor that he designed. I decided that I like the Mandalorian armor pretty well. I'm definitely a big Star Wars fan and stuff. So that's what we're gonna roll with. It looks piratey to me, at least relatively. So that's how we're gonna do it. There we go. Let's get the helmet back on, if I can. Okay, there we go. And you can see we've got the full like Mandalorian face helmet and everything too. So that's pretty awesome. All right, so today we want to do kind of like a toury episode a little bit. Not really toury though, but we're gonna take a look at some of the previous things I've done that probably I forgot to close the drones again. That's the whole reason I came back in here. We're going to take a look at some of the previous ships I've built that you guys may or may not have seen. Drones, close the drone bays. Okay, that should be doing its thing. And shut the doors behind us because we're not barbarians. And maybe eventually I'll have automatic doors on something that I build, but not on the Queen Bee. So, okay, the first thing we're going to take a look at is this ship over here. A lot of you guys probably have not seen this. This is the Mako. This is the first ship that I ever, I kind of had a starter ship where I learned about placing blocks and crap. But this is the first, like, real ship that I ever built in StarMade. I did call it the Mako because it is a shark, as you can tell. Excuse me, and I love this ship. I'll probably rework it sometime because it's such a cool idea, and I'll show you the feature of it that makes me like it the most in just a moment. But check out these teeth, man. That's so menacing. That is certain to strike fear into the hearts of my enemies. So let's hop in real quick. As you can see, you know, first ship, right? You can't expect me to be doing too well, but I got a good cockpit going on. There's a camera right there, so we can see out of the cockpit. Power is just kind of thrown haphazardly back here. No real interior or anything. Let's hop in the ship core. Okay, here's the thing, right? Salvage beams. That's awesome, but check this out. If we hit the double shift, you know, you can like unlock the camera. Boom, out of his mouth. Shooting laser. It's a shark that shoots laser beams out of its mouth. That's so awesome. It literally eats enemy ships or salvage asteroids and stuff. That's really cool. So that's Mako. I love this ship. If you want to watch me check it out, I only have it for like 2 or 3 episodes, like episode 3 or 4, or episodes 3 and 4. And oh, look at that. Whatever. The next ship that I worked on was the Mining Hulk, and we're not going to spend too much time looking at that. That's been my primary means of conveyance for the last probably 25 or so episodes since I built it. It's definitely seen some battle too. You can tell there's a big chunk missing out of the side of it there, and there's some damage strewn throughout. Our third ship on the agenda today, this is the Phalanx, and I went and got this from Cartagena, the other ship station that we have. This is the Phalanx. This ship's idea was that it would have these 2 big shields on the outside to protect kind of the ship guts. This was really my first fighter, and I learned a lot about weapon systems for this one. Did I just fly through that paint can? Who knows? I don't. Okay, I learned a lot about weapon systems and power and thrusters and stuff out of this ship. She's pretty minimal. She doesn't really have an interior in this one either. There are some containers for when we fought. We fought some pirates and got some loot, and I needed a place to store it. I took on probably 10 or 15 pirates at once with this guy, and that's why it's so banged up and damaged, but I really like the look of the damage on it. The shielding, the outer shields here, they're advanced armor, but they helped, I guess. You can see there's some damage to this side. The other side doesn't have a lot of damage, but most of the damage to the ship is the interior here. So we need to be careful to make sure that's better shielded for the next fighter we make. And then that brings us here to the Queen Bee. This is my pride and joy so far. This is the biggest ship that I've built so far in StarMade, and I did a tour of this ship recently as well. You can check that out in a previous video, so we're not going to look too in-depth in it. But today we're going to spawn in some pirate ships and have an actual fight. I've been trying to fight some pirates with this ship for a long time now, for several episodes. And what ends up happening is I'll go to a pirate station, try and get into a fight, and I'll fight the pirate station. But no pirates ever spawn. So I did some research, I did some reading, some figuring, some testing and stuff, and what I found was that the pirates do spawn, but they spawn too far away. So the actual thing that's happening is that the pirates will spawn so far from the station that we're outside of their sensory range. We're just going to find some blank space. This looks like a good spot. Maybe here. Maybe this will be fine right about here. Shouldn't be anything there. Let's plot a path. We've already got our warp drive charged and everything. So, but yeah, the pirates spawn too far away, and they don't ever actually come to attack us, which is kind of a bummer, man. I really wanted to test out the drones. That is the primary feature of this ship. Is that it's a drone ship. So let's see how far this jump gets us. That's close enough. Center, plot path to current. So that removes our waypoint. That's close enough. So I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I don't like to cheat in this game. I don't really use the admin commands, but we are gonna use one for this. And that is initiate _wave. And then you set some parameters and do 1, 1, -1. But before we do that, if we just do initiate wave, this will explain what the command does. So initiate wave, this gave us an error because we didn't initiate our parameters, but it tells us what parameters we need to set. So level, that tells us how strong the enemies are or how many. Seconds tells us how long until the command is initiated. And then faction ID, -1 is pirates for that. So we need to provide all three parameters. So we're going to do initiate wave 1, 1, -1. This should spawn us about 5 ships. Yep, there they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I count the triangles. We're going to fly up into the middle of them. They'll start shooting us pretty soon. We're going to fly up into the middle of them and launch our drones. Hopefully the drones launch properly. I generally have had issues with my drones not launching before, but let's give it a shot. So this... Oh, wow, we took a big hit just then. Shields look fine, though. So there's the drone bay doors opening. Man, that skull, that's menacing for sure. There's the drones coming out. We got a good view here. And I think they launched successfully. One of them did. Sometimes the drones need a little motivation. You got to tell them a couple times before they launch fully. Come on, guys. Launch. Quit getting stuck. Okay. Let's let them come back in. We got one out. My idea was I wanted to test the drones primarily and see how battle ready they are. So, apparently not very, because they won't even come out of their drone bays. Let's give it another shot. We'll put them out one more time before we go and try and debug. Yep, alright, let's figure out what's going on here. The drones don't want to launch for us. God, this is so frustrating. These drones just, I think they're too complicated is my real problem here. I don't want to launch them manually, but we can if we need to. Let's see. I'm in the gravity. That might be a problem. And I don't want to get hit by missiles or anything. Can we jump out on the leg? Yeah, that'll work. And there we go. I guess the wireless modules just aren't hooked up for some reason on those. They're not activating. That's okay. We'll manually activate them. Hopefully I don't get shot while I'm flying around here. That could be bad. Oh, there's a station. I think that's a trade station. Yeah, definitely. Let's make sure Bobby AI is activated as well. It's not. So that one took right off. Looks like my drones were not prepared. There goes 2 of the 4. One of them did launch for some reason successfully, so that's weird. It's probably floating around in space not doing anything. Okay, that one's AI was on and launched. Okay, so now all the drones have launched. Good. So now we can get back in our ship core, and we'll honestly we're gonna just sit still and shield tank these pirates for a moment, and see what the drones do. Just kind of observe, and see how well they act. We definitely have the shields to handle this, so let's reset ourselves. Make sure the pirates are going after the drones. It appears like they are. The drones are launching missiles. That's awesome. Some are hitting me, it seems like, and I'm not sure if that's the drones shooting me. Sometimes they do, or the pirates shooting me. I definitely see all the drones. They all appear to be moving, so that's good. 1, 2, 3. I count 3 drones. So the 4th drone, which would have been the first one we launched, maybe didn't launch properly. I'm not sure there. I count 1, 2, 3, 4 pirates now. If we hit N for nearby, 1, 2, 3. There's all 4 drones. This one is not moving. So let's target it and see if we can't get close to it and resolve that issue. No, it's moving. It's just orbiting us. How about that one? Let's see. Where is it? Is it moving? We just want to make sure they're all in motion so that all of their AIs are working. Yeah, that one's moving. That one's moving. And that one definitely was. So I think they're all working. All right. Awesome. Awesome. Well, let's pick a target and let's start attacking these pirates then. Let's switch to the combat camera. I almost never use this camera. I always forget that I have it. And let's pick a target and take out some of these pirates. Hopefully we don't accidentally hit that trade station. I didn't realize I was going to be close to a station here. Whoa! We're not as nimble as I'd like to be, but it's a pretty heavy ship. I mean, we have a lot of blocks. So that's fine. And the drones seem to be working. All right, let's do some work on these pirates and take some of them out. So here's our first target. I think we've got its attention. The missiles, I'm kind of still on the fence about these cluster missiles that I'm using on this. And the reason is I can't really... gosh, I'm so much slower than this pirate. The reason that I'm on the fence about them is like I can't really aim them or determine like what target they go after, because they cluster and then kind of take off and do their own thing. So, which I guess makes sense. I mean, that's what they're for. They're heat-seeking missiles. But I really almost would rather have the lock-on-target missiles. especially if I'm trying to take out pirates like this. Like, they work well for stations, the cluster ones do, when there are lots of turrets, and they may be really well in larger engagements, with many more ships or with larger ships. But for this, I almost would rather take out the targets one at a time, and for that, I almost need to be able to have more kind of control over my missiles here. I'm having a hard time tracking this guy from this view. Let's do the flight cam and see if that helps us any. Hopefully a stray missile or something doesn't hit that trade station and summon some dudes. But from my experience, they're not going to show up anyway, so I guess it doesn't really matter. Okay, this camera sucks for this. We're going to have to go back into the combat cam at the nose. Dude, I don't know what this pirate's doing. Is he chasing my drones or something? Like, he will not stand still where I can shoot him. I mean, I guess that makes sense, but... Alright, so let's find a different target then. Let's target this guy. Stand still, you jerk. Stand still, let me shoot you. Okay, that guy got hit by a bunch of missiles just then. We're getting hits on him. I don't know how powerful these hits are, but you can see the markers. There we go. There we go. Yeah, it seems like the drones are really working well. I need a more nimble ship or more drones, though, it seems like, because while the drones are able to shoot the pirates, I don't think they're strong enough to take them out. They're mostly a diversion. But there's such a good diversion that I can't shoot the pirates either. So, it kind of defeats the point of having the diversionary drones. Okay, we're getting some work on this guy. And he's shooting at a drone, so we might be able to hold him still for a little bit. I'm trying to shoot him in the back, trying to shoot out his thrusters. And his power system, so he can't get away as quickly. Come on, target me. Yeah, the drones, I like the drones idea. It really works well if you have the right kinds of drones. I don't think that I do, and that's my problem, is that I either need a lot more or a lot more powerful drones, because they aren't capable of taking out these ships by themselves. And they're so spread apart at this point that I can't take out the ships either, because the ships are just all over the place, the pirate ships are. So this is a good test then. I'm learning a lot from this experience, which is always the point of testing, especially combat testing. Okay, come on, ship. Focus on me for a second. All right, we're starting to get down to where we can maybe kill this guy. Once you've kind of torn through his armor a little bit, he starts taking structural damage. That's when you hit like core systems and stuff. There we go, lead him a little bit. And once you get his structural integrity down to about half, his shields, his computer will overheat. And that's how you know you win, once his computer's overheated. So we gotta take about 5 of these guys. And the fighting in this game is really engaging and really fun to do, but it doesn't really make for great video because it's kind of slow. So that's what's going on with all these cuts. But we'll get these guys for sure. I don't see any problems with this ship other than maybe more drones or stronger ones. Perhaps we could rework the Hornet drones, and that might work. Or we could redesign another drone ship, because I'm all about, improve upon, build something, test it, improve upon it. That's what we want to do. Progress is the human condition, and whatnot. Okay, I've switched targets here. This guy is spazzing out. This is kind of awesome. He's sitting duck here, just can't decide what to attack. So I definitely like that. And another interesting thing would be if we can find a way... Look at that drone is upside down. Another interesting thing we could figure out is if we could find a way to disable the enemy ship's movement. That would be a cool fighting mechanic. Maybe like a pull beam or something, or something. I'm not sure. I'd have to play with it and test it. But that would be cool if we can just literally halt the enemy ships in their tracks, and just blast them. That would be pretty awesome. Okay, I lost my target here. Where'd he go? There he is. He's going after that drone. Yeah, we're kind of all over the place with who we're targeting. We're just picking whoever's closest, kind of, and who's going to be the most convenient target, which I guess makes sense for this style of drone combat. The cluster missiles, actually, I was complaining about them before, but in a scenario like this, where the enemy ships are all over the place, they almost make more sense, because they just will attack whomever. Okay, we're starting to get awfully near that trade station. Don't hit it, missiles. I don't want my missiles to hit it, but we're right. Okay. Hopefully we don't get the trade guys mad at us. What was I saying about cluster missiles, though? Oh, yeah, they actually are very useful in this kind of situation, right? Because I can't get a single enemy just to stay still and shoot them. So the cluster missiles do some tracking, and I like that. The only other thing that I think would be maybe better is several missile volleys that are the locking missiles. Maybe instead of a cluster of weak missiles that just kind of scatter, but like 2 or 3 locking missiles, which I think is if you do missiles and beams, then they will lock onto their target. And that might be useful for this kind of combat as well. Alright, I finally got the attention of one of these guys. Nope, never mind. He got distracted. These drones are doing well. I definitely built this ship around it experiencing a lot more of the combat than it does. So I'll know better for next time. Next time we build a drone ship, we'll know it doesn't have to have as much armor. I mean, or shields or anything. Like, this ship is crazy, crazy powerful compared to the amount of damage I'm taking. My shields have not dropped below, like 75% even. And we just sat there for the first good bit of the fight trying to figure out how to make the drones work. So, that says a lot for the capabilities of the ship. And I guess the drones as well. They're doing their job. I'm just disappointed with the job they're doing. Like they're fulfilling the role that they made for, and they're doing exactly what they're supposed to do, but not what I expected. So it's just making it harder to fight these things instead of easier. So yeah, I'm not sure about the drones at this point. Anyway, I'm going to sit here and finish these guys off. This is a pretty easy fight so far. I mean, we definitely have this in the bag. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Leave a like if you liked the video. Let me know what you think about the drones and the weapon systems and all that stuff. Leave me some comments. And stay tuned. We'll see you in the next episode.